Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for One Piece episode 901. Alright, so the first thing to note is, first thing to note in this episode is I do believe that they extended the whole chase and pursuit of Tama, and by association the battle between Batman and Gazelle-Man as well, which normally when an episode is padded out, it does drag the pacing down. But in this case, I actually didn't mind it because I didn't actually mind it because it did something I kind of wanted the anime to do, which is give us a reason as for why we should consider even the weaker members of Kaido's crew a threat. And for the most part, it did that job pretty well. It was a short scene, mind you, but it was long enough. It was long enough between like last episode and this episode to the point where yeah, I can take even the weaker members of Kaido's crew as legitimate. I can believe that even the weaker members of Kaido's crew are legitimate threats to Luffy and Zoro and the rest of the crew. So yeah, I definitely like how of course, padding an episode out isn't necessarily always ideal. I definitely like how it did how did sort of almost kind of add a little bit of that element to it of, okay, yeah, the beast pirates, it doesn't matter if they're weaklings or not, the beast pirates are serious business. So yeah. So we of course get introduced to another one of the headliners in this episode, which is Holdem. And to start off, on a technical level alone, I absolutely loved the way his introduction was handled, because what Toei did is because what Toei's artists and animators did is they started off slow, but pretty much revealing the lion's head, which was already amazing just from how the artists and animators were basically using something as simple as shading in order as simple as shading in order to give the lion's head this very creepy this very creepy and just very threatening presence, and they built on the reveal from there by showing us more and more of Holdem right pretty much up until the from full reveal of him. And honestly, I'd even go so far as to say that pretty much Toei and the anime and the artists and animators, I'd say that they pretty much handled that pretty much reveal even better than Oda did in the manga. I think with the manga, I think what Oda did is he pretty much built it up a little bit, but pretty much it was only like a page of him building it up, and then in the next page he immediately cut to pretty much the full on reveal of Holdem. But yeah, by virtue of Toei of actually taking their time and building on pretty much Holdem's introduction, it gave him quite a little bit more of a threatening presence. Honestly, it's like there were many times where I was legitimately afraid of pretty much of basically Holdem even before he was fully revealed. Just that, again, just that lion's head alone, that was some scary shit. I can't lie to you guys. Now one thing also, it's been a while, so in any manga, if there are any manga, I'm sure there are manga. So if any manga readers can pretty much answer this for me, was that scene of Holdem's lion belt punching Holdem in the crown jewels in the manga? I have to know. It's one of those things where it was hilarious. It's one of those things where it's hilarious either way, whether it was in the manga or not. But I just can't remember. I don't know why, but that pretty much scene had that was such a what the fuck moment for me that I was like, was that in the manga? I don't know. It's one of those things where I have a little bit of a morbid curiosity with that scene. I don't know if it was in the manga, but holy shit, was that fucking hilarious! I was dying of laughter when I saw that scene. Holy shit. Yeah. Now, after Holdem's reveal, we more or less get the clarification that every time animals eat one of the dango dumplings that pretty much Tama makes with her devil fruit, she essentially tames them and she essentially tames them. So between that, what we've seen of Kaido's army and Hitetsu's warning, it's pretty clear that what Holdem is doing is he's planning he's going to use Tama as a means in order to bolster Kaido's army, and that is a pretty hefty reveal in itself because it tells us that when it comes to the scope of Kaido's recruitment when it comes to the scope of Kaido's recruitment for like his crew and his army and whatnot. It isn't just limited to pretty much zone smile devil fruit eaters. He's got like he's pretty much got like the zone devil fruit eaters are an army platoon until themselves, but he's also got he's got a pretty much beast unit or beast platoon at his command where he's pretty much tamed animals in order to fight. That so and Holdem is more than likely looking in order to increase those numbers and with pretty much Tama in it with Tama in his like in his claws now like Holdem he's looking to tame a lot more animals for Kaido's army now, and with Tama it just got easier to do that now. So yeah, and overall this reveal in itself it pretty much tells us too that Kaido he's pretty serious about the whole destroy the world thing. Like he's Kaido he's pretty much got a whole fucking army of people at his command, and he's got people, he's got people, he's got zone eaters, he's got animals. Kaido's army's turning. We haven't even seen like the full scale of Kaido's army yet, and yeah, it's turning into a fucking big deal right now. It's already turning into a fucking big deal, and we should be afraid, I think, of this. Of course, within the episode itself, we pretty much also learned that basically Kiku is a samurai, which isn't really surprising at this point, but at the same time, it's pretty much a pretty much small puzzle piece of a much grander puzzle that Oda has built within this arc, and oh boy, this is like even just this tiny reveal of Kiku being a samurai. It's one of those things where there's pretty much so much I want to say, but I also want to save it for that like from small group of anime onlys out there. Like I know there are people who are I know there are a very small group of people who might only watch the anime, but yeah, I want to save it for the anime onlys because, oh boy, yeah, it probably doesn't sound too big of a deal that Kiku is a samurai, but it in this particular case it definitely has story value for sure. Now the other important thing to talk about with this episode is that the episode ends with Luffy and Zoro charging into Bakura town, like full stop, and which, considering Law's reaction to Beppo telling him that, you can tell that Luffy charging into the town of noblemen and whatnot is the last thing he wanted to happen. But at the same time, like when you see Beppo tell pretty much Law that Luffy had charged into Bakura town, and had charged into Bakura town and he freaked out. It's one of those things where I can definitely get his kind of anxiety now and how that's the last thing he wanted to have happen. But at the same time, I kind of have to call you out on this one because you've known Luffy long enough in order to know he's gonna get into some serious trouble like this. So maybe rather than lying around waiting for him, you probably should have I don't know, gone look for him and basically when probably should have gone looking for him when he first arrived or something, or just set up base camp in Oak and basically oak Boro Town or something, or just like yeah, like just in case, like you should have set up camp a little closer to where he like landed. I don't know, just my thought, just in general where you should have set up base camp in an area where he would have more likely been. Just saying. Um, but yeah, guys, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Crunchyroll. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.